Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. On this occasion, we from Group 9 will present material about narrative text. As for our group members, namely Faris Fauzan Haidar, Felia Lestari, Hanayori Octania Nugraha, Indah Syaripah Uzhma, and Kusumaning Dewi Anggraeni. What is the narrative text? The definition of narrative text is a story with complication or problematic events, and it tries to find a resolution to solve the problems. An important part of narrative text is the narrative mode, the set of methods used to communicate the narrative through a process narration. Generic structure of narrative text there are four. 1. Orientation. Orientation or so-called introduction contains about who, when, where a story is set. 2. Complication. Complication tells the beginning of the problem that causes the peak of the problem or what is commonly known as the climax. This section usually involves the main character of the story. 3. Resolution. This section is the end of the story or in the form of a solution to the problem that occurred.
Narrative text characters. First is specific characters. The characters of the story is specific, not general. Second is past time. Third, time conjunction and adverbs of time. Fourth, action verb. And last, direct speech.
Fable, a story that tells about animals. And myths, the story or myth develops in society and generally becomes a story that is factual or actually happened. A legend, a folk tale that tells how the origin of the place exists. Folklore, a story is told from generation to generation so that it becomes a part of the community's traditions. And fairy tales, folk tales of children, stories which contain elements of the magic or impossibility of the story characters and at the end contain moral message.
How to analyze narrative text? Character journeys, plot points, speaking figuratively, setting the time and place, tackling the theme. Character journeys, analyzing the characters' personalities, behavior, and relationships can point to the significant meaning in a narrative. Examine whether a character uses first-person point of view to directly tell the story, or a more objective third-person narrator from outside the story. Plot point. Speaking figuratively, in a narrative, analyze the author's use of techniques such similes, compressions. They use the word like or as and metaphors, which make direct compressions without the words. You can also look closer at images the authors describe and consider whether they carry symbolic meaning to the story as whole. Setting the time and place. Analyze the time and place of the narrative and consider how the choice of era or location can help you understand the characters and their experience, as well as how the choice of place helps to reinforce the story's meaning. Tackling the theme. Ultimately, all narrative elements work together to create the story's theme, the main idea that lies behind it.
How to create a narrative text. 1. Determine the theme and message to be conveyed. 2. Set target readers. 3. Designing the main event that will be displayed in the form of a flowchart. 4. Divide the main event into the beginning, development, and end of the story. 5. Breaking down the main event into the details of the event to support the story. 6. Arrange characters and figures settings, and point of view. 7. Check the function rules in the sentence. And the next, I will give an example of the narrative text. The title is The Ant and the Dove. One hot day, an ant was seeking for some water. After walking around for a moment, she came to a spring. To reach the spring, she had to climb up a blade of grass. While making her way up, she slipped and fell unintentionally into the water. She could have sunk if a dove up a nearby tree had not seen her. Seeing that the ant was in trouble, the dove quickly put up a leaf from a tree and dropped it immediately into the water near the struggling ant. Then the ant moved towards the leaf and climbed up there. Soon, it carried her safely to dry ground. Not long after that, there was a hunter nearby who was throwing out his net towards a dove, hoping to trap it in this way. Guessing what he should do, the ant quickly beat him on the head. Feeling the pain, the hunter dropped his net and the dove flew away quickly from this net. The morality from this text is, one good turn deserves another.
So, mini presentation from group 9. Apologize if there are many mistakes. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.